Phil Matier and I asked former San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown about the state of the Democratic Party.
Well, good morning. And if you're a Democratic candidate for president, welcome to San Francisco, because we've got a gaggle of them in town this weekend. Mayor Brown, where are they? Are we at a crossroads? Which one of these can beat them?
I don't know what you mean by crossroads, but it is a good, great place for Democrats to be. The weather is good. People are responding positively, and these Democrats are putting on one hell of a show.
They're all trying to stay in it now. We've had a couple of departures from the race, and now the folks that are in, no one wants to be the next soldier to fall, as they say.
Well, unless there's an opportunity to run for Senate or run for governor.
Exactly.
Then you got to leave before the deal closes.
Well, I think a lot of Democrats wish people like Montana Governor Bullock would run for Senate.
There's
or
still that
run.
possibility. There's still that possibility.
But
Well, they may get
the
some
reason why
pressure
we
this
say
weekend.
crossroads is because we have an activist core in the Democratic Party that wants single issues to be explored and expanded upon. They want a debate, let's say a national debate on climate change. They want a national debate on guns, on all these various issues. Do you think that helps sells the Democrat, or would that get him in trouble now?
No, you got to be very careful, really careful. You've got to remember your focus on winning the presidency, and you really ought to be about trying to persuade a voter one at a time.
Is
on
that
your
politics
behalf,
or a con job?
on your issue. That's not a con job.
It's
Mr.
a fine
Matier, that is literally the way in which you win elections, and that's what we need to do. If we get stuck on this Green New Deal, if we get stuck on this climate change, people don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I think when it comes to polling, when it comes to figuring out what people care about, remember, there's sort of two things to look at. Not only like what people are saying they're for or against, but also how much they care about these issues. And so for a lot of folks, it seems like they look at a poll and they go, oh, well, it looks like Democrats are in favor of these 10 things. But not equally. They care about some things more than others. Focusing on the others can alienate more people than you're getting.
And Trump still has the stage. He is constantly going back to the things that led him to victory. Last time out in 2016, we just can't have that happen again, and we won't have it happen again.
While dealing with the mentally ill and drug-addicted people on San Francisco's city streets has reemerged as a top priority. So KPIX 5's Phil Matier and I asked former San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown what has changed since he was in office and what can change.
Mayor Brown, once again, the entire issue of homelessness, street behavior, safety has reemerged in San Francisco as one of the top concerns. This was a concern when you were the mayor. What's changed and what can change?
Well, just a second. It was not as bad when I was the mayor. The reaction at that time, we were still speaking, like we're humanistic, not as aggressive as we need to be now, because we didn't have the same kind of volume, we didn't have the intensity, we didn't have the drug dealing. Obviously, Mayor Breed and people running City Hall have got to come up with a new model on how to address the issue.
Well, and also back when you were mayor, there were large parts of, for example, south of Market that weren't fully developed, where folks could be if they were into that sort of thing and they weren't as visible. Now that literally it seems like every inch of the city has been developed, there's, everyone is sort of out of the shadows and in front in a way we have to deal with.
It's not just that they're out of the shadows in front. The behavior has gotten worse. I mean, the people that you see, people just out and out crazy on the streets right now. We didn't see that many out and out crazies. It's total tents. It's open drugs. It's different.
Also, you understand that there's a greater level of tolerance now. In my time period, the business of whether or not you committed a crime in front of me, I dealt with it accordingly. There was no judge that would release someone who assaults somebody else and say, I'm doing
what's
it.
changed? Why? How did that happen?
It's evolution. People have...
Evolution means going forward, getting better.
Well, we look at the crime statistics and the police say, oh, well, the crime is going down, but those are based on reported crimes. And I think for some people, they see crimes happening and why bother reporting them? They don't feel like anything's going to happen. So maybe the statistics look better, but maybe that's just because people aren't reporting as much.
And the number of people who are engaging in petty crimes that sometimes are not even addressed. You say, my windows have been broken, and the police department says, fill out the form and bring it down here when you get a chance. And In the old days, that would not have been the case. There would have been some cop showing up, and consequently, you wouldn't have.
Final question. We only have a second. How much longer do you think San Francisco residents or Bay Area residents are going to allow this to continue to happen?
I think it's all over already. I believe San Francisco residents, as well as the Bay Area residents, have grown beyond the level of tolerance for this nonsense that's occurring on the streets every day.